Coffee on the fire, nothing better than that, especially on the cold morning. Let's go over and see if these folks will, oh, let me get a picture of this right here, if we can get this up, there we go. I'm going to have to move over to the side here a little bit because there's a lot of bright sunlight behind you there.
That's fine.
I presume you are the cookie of the wagon here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, sir. I'm name's Michael Engelbrett, and this is the better half, Tammy.
All right. And where are y'all located?
We're out of Cheyenne Wells, Colorado, and we're the Rockin' VX Chuck Wagon.
Been cooking for about 5 years. Trying to get better every year, challenging ourselves, seeing what's new.
Trying to up our game, get better at it all the time. We've been on several different wagons, and we finally got the opportunity to build our own, and then we got the wagon, but then built everything from scratch, from the ground up.
Oh, wonderful.
Tried to make the wagon usable, functional, over looking.
And authentic.
But stay authentic, and we wanted it to look cool too. But everything we do, we can load the wagon, we can put everything in it, and we can haul it, or we can hook the horses on and we can drag it wherever you need to go. If you want to do a branded, we'll hitch and go.
As many chuck wagon cook-off contests as I have attended, I haven't really run across one that actually gets dragged by a team of horses, or mules, or oxen, or anything. Actually,
most people don't want to take that risk. There's a lot of financial investment here, as well as history and culture, but that's something. Horses are important to us. Wagons and rodeo, and I mean just horses in general, have been important to us before, and so we wanted to take on that challenge and do it.
We want to make it the real deal. If somebody wants it, we can do it, you know. And
we covered the wagon and entered the parade, and we won.
Yeah.
So
excellent. And it's a great vehicle for parades.
You bet.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of hunt involved and a lot of research to build them, and
there's so many things that have to be a period that you have to come by sometimes. You know, they don't make these things anymore.
Absolutely.
Would you care to give us a little tour of the wagon, maybe talk about some of the unique aspects about it, and I'll try to get it close up with the camera.
Yeah, I'll let Tammy start.
One of the things too is there has been a lot of research in making authentic, but some of it comes with necessity, like a kitchen light. You know, having a kitchen light is kind of valuable. It gets in the way here and there, but when
4 o'clock in the morning making biscuits, you kind of need to build a scene, and it will.
Or 8 or 9 o'clock at night sorting beans. It's valuable.
I have video of a working chuck wagon on the LX Ranch, where we started out at 4 o'clock in the morning. Had to have a lantern.
Yes.
Now, he did not use a period type lantern.
Yes.
He was not being judged. He had one of the Coleman types. And as we were talking, and well, I wasn't really talking. I told him, I'm just a fly on the wall.
Sure.
Don't pay me any attention. You know, just do your normal thing. And he had a helper there. Well, eventually the lantern ran out, but there was another lantern in there, and he was making biscuits at the time, I think, needing flour and stuff. He says, you know what, I think I'm going blind. He looks up and he sees, well, no wonder the lantern's out.
We have both types just for that reason.
Yes.
Exactly. All right, well, let's take a little tour right here. And
well,
we can kind of
start off with our chuck box here. You know, we got our stuffing grinder.
Oh, that comes out on an extension. Normally, I see them mounted to the side of the wagon.
And a lot of people do that, but we kind of wanted
There we go.
Where it could be put away easily, quickly. And
very functional.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Everything about chuck wagons was meant to be functional to begin with. So I don't see any problem with keeping up that tradition of being innovative.
Right. The knife rack in here is another one of the functionalities and necessities. You always need a lot of knives, and you're always looking for a sharp one.
Yes.
Never fails. So this is our knife rack.
And keeping them protected like that keeps them sharp as well.
Yes, and they're not bouncing around. Somebody's not, reaching in a drawer. Like this is my drawer, and this is my drawer with all the.
Everything gets really jumbled, doesn't it?
And so somebody's not digging in a drawer and getting their hand cut.
Right.
This here is our cutting board. This is kind of special. So this was made for me by hand. By Mike's dad, and it had a handle on it. It actually had 2 handles on it, and he made it special for me. And then I broke it. I broke the handle off this year.
Oh.
And right after that, he passed away. But we built the wagon around the cutting board because we knew this was something that we wanted on the wagon. It kind of, represents his family and something that's important to both of us.
Yes.
So, and you always need a cutting board, so why not, right?
Yes, incorporated into the actual chuck box instead of being separate, I guess.
That's right.
Right. Great idea.
And speaking of family, my dad does silver work, so he built all the drawer knob covers.
Wow.
So this side over here represents my family.
Okay.
This is my grandpa, this is my dad, this is my grandma, and so this is our family's brands here.
Wow.
This side over here represents Mike's family. So here's where the Rockin' VX came from. This is VX quarter circle, and we just kind of made the name fancy, and a little more vibrant. But this is all represents his family. This is his brother, his dad, and his other brother ended up over here, but we ended up having just enough need for each one. So
Wow, that's great.
yeah, and we've got some. Let me go on the other side here.
Okay.
Another functionality we made, so it never fails that you're pulling out a drawer and you always got to put your hand under it because it falls out.
Right.
So I made, it was very specific about how I didn't want that to happen. So Mike got real creative and made these drawers to where they tip and hang.
Wow.
So
Now it's a real organizer.
Yep, I can see in the drawers, get it to hook right here, it'll be real sturdy, but we can see in them and use them. And
That is great.
it's great, especially when you are working with an upper drawer.
Yes.
Yeah, and this drawer here, we made a double. So this is some linens and whatnot, but you always need your picnic gear.
Right.
So back here is the picnic gear.
Oh, wow.
Just a way to make a big deep drawer a little more functional.
Yes. And it's got built-in handleage here as well.
Yes, yep. You can carry this one like a basket.
Yeah. That's great.
And that was also part of necessity because you couldn't really put a knob on it, so we had to get creative on that too. So
Yes. Wow.
it's been fun to create and craft together and try things and see what we like and don't like.
Yes. Well, I like it.
Yeah, we do too. We actually did a lot of good things, so
Yes.
I'll let Mike take you around the rest of the wagon.
Okay.
Around this side, underneath, you'll see we got what's called, I don't know, I've heard it called the boot, a pan boot,
Yeah.
and a pot box,
Right.
and that hangs underneath the wagon.
Exactly.
We have shelving we built for individual shelves, so when we get biscuits that need proofing, we can slide them shelves in there and put the biscuits in and proof them, so they raise up and we can shut it, keep them out of the dirt, and keep them clean.
Great idea. And the flies off of them too.
And the flies off of them. We have our fry pans hanging on the side, our extra tools, our sleds, our axes, our hatchets. And I don't typically shave on the trail, but got it if we need to.
Well, it helps for judging.
Yeah.
I have photographs of a lot of these types of arrangements that people have really loved.
And we've got a belly box on here underneath that hinges and folds open when you got the water barrel down.
Okay.
And that belly box holds all of our fire set for our camp fire set.
Okay.
It's the right length. We can slide everything in there. All our steaks from our fly can go in the belly box.
And those are heavy things. It's good to have to maintain a low center of balance as well.
And to balance your weight on your wagon. We got an iron weight there. We got a big weight there. Then we come on to the front. We have the toolbox with the hammers and shoeing tools and nails, whatever you need. You got it.
Well, originally on trail drives, a wagon had to be, I guess, a medical wagon and a dental wagon and a haircutting wagon and
Had to have everything.
repair wagon, horseshoeing wagon.
Yep. Had to have it because when the cowboys were out for 2 or 3 weeks, 4 at a time, when they went to town, was going to make it to town,
Yes,
they
sir.
wanted to clean up and go see the girls. So
There you go.
that's why you had to shave a kit in the mirror so they could
Exactly.
clean up, you know.
Exactly.
And then you had to have the tools because you were out there. You had to have everything you needed with you.
Right, right.
Like you could go to town.
Now this is something I don't see a whole lot on wagons. Every once in a while I will, and that is like a kerosene
Kerosene kit.
wagon
yes.
for your lanterns.
For your lanterns, yes, sir.
I don't know if anybody used any whale oil,
Well,
but I believe the kerosene was available.
I think it was available. Now this can, to be right honest, may not be of period. It may be a little later.
Yeah.
But that's part of the hunt's finding the old stuff.
Yeah.
When we find the old stuff, we'll trade out the newer
Yeah.
and put the old on. And something you should see here is many don't have. Hard to find item, but is a grease bucket, which I don't have grease in there yet.
Okay.
But
Brand new.
that's where you carry your grease for your axles, because your axles have to be greased,
Right.
periodically
Right.
every couple weeks anyhow.
And we're talking grease, we're talking about animal fat.
We're talking animal fat, tallow,
Yes.
bacon grease, whatever you had is what you
Right.
would use.
Right.
Smelly.
And we want to put that on there, but I guarantee you it's going to be a smelly deal.
Yes.
Lard.
Well, it's got a lid, so that
Yeah.
helps out quite a bit.
So,
Until the flies come
you know,
around.
Now, I've already looked at some of the other wagons out here. I'll be covering them too. And there is one feature that this wagon has that the others don't.
okay.
And you might talk about the wheel,
Oh, yes.
the wheels, and how that is different and why it's different.
This has got what they call the butcher knife wheels. It's tall wheels, high wheels, but they're narrow. And the biggest reason is for the country that we're in, we need big narrow wheels to cut through, get down to a base so they can pull it. We're in a really heavy clay soil. It's really going to build up on them wheels and you can't pull them too hard. So the narrow wheel just works better in the mud conditions.
Yes.
And the big wheel rolls over bigger rocks, if you got rocks, and through bigger cricks, doesn't lock up. And,
There you go.
And you'll see a lot of guys feel some play in the hub,
Right.
and you want a little bit of there so that them wheels will roll around a rock instead of hitting everyone and bouncing. And so there's supposed to be a little give.
Yeah, when everything is really rigid
Rigid.
like that, it really puts a lot more strain.
A lot more
on the
strain, and
axle.
that's where you'll break things.
Right, right. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Model Ts, when they had those itty bitty little skinny wheels.
Yep.
And you see these old timey black and white films where they're going through mud and snow.
Yep.
I mean, they just cut right through it.
Yes, sir.
Whereas today's vehicles, we've got these big fat wide tires,
Yes, sir.
and causes a heck of a lot more problems.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's why they done it for necessity.
Yeah.
And you'll see some of these wagons around here that got a wider tire and a little smaller. It's for your sand country.
Yeah.
They need a little more space, a little less ability to sink in. They got to
Right.
float on top.
Yeah.
That's my knowledge of it.
Okay. And we haven't talked about the wagon itself. Is there a personal history to it?
This wagon, from the research I've done, and I may not be absolutely correct, but best of my knowledge, is an international, which International bought Weber wagons out somewhere in the late 1800s. And I think this wagon is probably like an 1895 model wagon, original International running gear. And I believe the wood in the running gear is all original except for the spokes have been put in new. And then the wagon box itself is original old wagon box, come from Kansas City. I bought it at an auction and built everything
Yeah.
from there. But yeah, it's a nice old original wagon.
All right.
We had to do a little building and digging to find all the parts and pieces to get the brake system on, but
Right.
it is rigged up kind of like it should have been or would have been back then.
Okay. Now, we talked a little bit before, and you talked about the fact that you actually have some draft horses
Yes, sir.
that you pull wagons with. Is any of these harnesses
Yes.
related to what you use for what you do today?
Absolutely. If we used to have to hitch this wagon today and had the horses here, these are the 2 collars I'd put on them, and that's the harness
Okay.
I'd put on, and we'd hook them on and drive off.
Well, you're very kind. I see it has mattress padding in here.
Yep, it's got the, and those are
Well, the old liner, you see on the mattresses all the
the old
time.
mattress cloth,
Yeah.
but that's filled with deer hair.
Okay.
Inside of there, and the deer hair breathes, and it doesn't tend to rot away.
Ah, okay.
Still
All right.
today they use it.
I see.
And those,
Interesting.
They do have a little stainless steel hardware, but which
Yeah.
throws you a little out of period. But
Right.
and they've got the old saddle come from down at Fred Mueller in Pueblo, Colorado, was built down there.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Well, is there anything else unique about some of the items you picked up or anything like that? We've run a little bit long, I think, but what's that?
Fine.
Did you talk about the make and model of your wagon?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Tammy, why don't you tell a little bit about Rockin' BX and where to get a hold of us?
So we are located in Cheyenne Wells, Colorado, as we talked about before. We're available for hire. We'll do competitions, we do catering, we do probably just about anything. we'll at least give it a try. So you can call us. You can call Mike. That would probably be the best at 719-342-9493.
And I'll put all the contact information in the description below the video.
Sounds great. We don't have a website yet. However, we're looking to develop that and build that and get on social media soon. So
Okay.
if nothing else, the whole deal's put on by Doc Jones and Company, and Doc Jones is a great contact.
Yes, and I have
my
his
dad.
contact information. Oh, okay. And I'll have his contact information, and I'll be talking with him too.
That sounds great.
All right. Well, thank you all very much, and
Thank you.
this is wonderful. I think
Yeah.
the way you have integrated some modern innovations into something, and it's still fitting and appropriate
And
to
keep
me.
history alive. You know, one of my favorite things to tell people is come in, look at it, touch it, get close. You know, they
Yes.
want to stand back, and I'm like, no, get close, because I get to touch it every day. This is living history. This is
Yes.
history, you know, still working, and you should get the opportunity to experience that. Go touch it
Okay.
yourself, you know,
Okay.
get your hands on it.
Well, I saw the judges come by a little bit earlier, or at least one of them did. Did they have any comments about?
They said that the competition has gotten considerably tougher year after year.
Yes.
Everybody's taking it serious and trying to make it bigger and better and step our game up.
Improve ourselves.
And
Yeah.
it's obvious. They see it. They said it's way tougher to judge now than it was 5 years ago.
All right. Well, we haven't heard those results as of yet. We probably won't until tomorrow. And then the people will be coming by during the rodeo stuff, and they will be judging as well.
They'll be smelling
So,
all the fragrances coming from all those pots and off the stove, and getting their pellets ready to eat some good food.
Yes. Well, good luck to both of you then.
Thank you.